Hello, hello, hello. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Peace, peace.
Yes, yes, yes. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio.
Outlaw.
Thursday night edition.
Outlaw.
We in here, man. I am brother talk to teach, listen and learn your truth, transfer engineer. A brother with a different perspective, man. We in here to use our powers for good. Y'all tune in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit like, hit share, subscribe, do all that, especially the YouTube, man, especially the YouTube followers, YouTube outlaws. We got the usual cast in here, man. We minus the estrogen tonight, but we're going to keep it moving. Go ahead, bro. Why don't you tell the people about yourself?
Peace, peace, family. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. It's the black woman's lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Right.
Facebook just now coming on.
What's up, Facebook?
Hey. Peace, Facebook. How everybody doing out there?
Yeah,
all right.
Let them know again. Let Facebook know again. They just tuned in. Who are you again, brother?
I'm the black woman's lover, the black man's brother.
Hey.
The culture teacher, the hood healer, your holistic health and wellness coach, Kamar Carter. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am. Brother talk to teach, listen to learn your truth, transfer engineer. We in here tonight, miseducated as a people.
Yeah.
Oh, we on that shit again. Here we go. Here they go. They talking that shit again. Yeah. As a people, we've been miseducated. We got the mayor in here tonight, man. Go ahead, mayor. Hold on. Wait. The mayor put on his engineer hat. He finna do the thing. I seen him pull out a screwdriver. He finna give you some palm pouring all in the camera. There we go.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. I wish I could move the camera.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it in front of the camera.
Natural.
Get it.
Don't get none on me, dog.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, look, I told you.
Hey, it is Thursday night.
Yes.
Welcome to Outlaw Radio, man. Live from the Chocolate City Studios in beautiful Northwest Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 414. If you didn't know, so I stand up. I know it's a little blurry. I don't know what's the deal with the camera. We're in the midst of trying to make some electronic adjustments. And we are simulcasting on YouTube, so it actually looks better on YouTube. Look, this is another reason for you to go and subscribe to the YouTube page, right?
All right, man.
Get the notifications
better. All that. Don't get caught slipping.
Yeah, it's the People's Network, man.
Yeah,
you need the link, let me know. I see people in here already with us, ready to go.
What's up?
It's Outlaw Radio, man. Miseducated education. I want to talk about education tonight. I want to talk about learning. I want to talk about what it actually is, because I listen to what the people say. And I hear a lot of misused terminology. I see a lot of people who are they say it's like you talking loud and you saying nothing. If you understand information and how to inform people, you might get an understanding on how to inspire people.
All right.
So welcome to the show, man. Shout out to 3041 North, 414-810-3131. If you want to get in touch with Mr. Terry, it is what it is. It's not foggy in the studio. It's just the camera for some reason.
For something going on.
It is. I don't know what it is.
It's the mist.
Right.
The tension. You can cut it with a knife.
But I'm here with my partners, man. I'm here with the meat of the cash. Shout out to Key Minor, our estrogen, who's normally in the house.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to tune in. I can't
Shout out to Key, man. We support black women. We support black business. We support everything that's black. If it's pertinent to our people, we are supportive of it.
We love black people
who love black people.
Right on. I see you, London Brown. You got to come on and promote your new book. She has part 2.
All right.
She had the first book, which was pretty successful.
Yeah.
And she's followed that up with a sequel.
Yeah, we had her on last time.
Yeah.
Right?
London Brown's a friend of the show.
Yeah, you did your thing.
She got part 2 right now. So London, you got to come on and check us out. What we try to do on this show is try to discuss issues that are pertinent to black people, like I said before. So if you're not in tune with black people, or if you don't like black people, or you're a black person but you don't like being black,
wrong show.
Don't watch this show. Right? Go watch some other shit. It's time for us to promote us. It's time for us to write the narrative. It's time for us to set the agenda.
That's right. Don't nobody love us like we love us.
Right. And we have conversations when they ain't around that they are unaware of. and vice versa.
And they do the same.
And vice versa.
Theirs is just in boardrooms and
right,
shit.
right.
You know
Theirs
what I
is
mean?
legislative when they do it.
in the silence
Right.
of the night.
They just happen to be having a conversation about ratifying the Constitution and shit. We was talking about some bullshit like, you going out tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Did you taste that chicken sandwich?
You gonna be at Brown's Canopy Lounge, right?
Yeah.
Hot Summer. A Hot Summer was London's first book, and the sequel is called Revenge. So most definitely check that out. I want to shout out DAMG Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Dante Chestnut.
Man,
All right,
peace.
man, that's what's up. And I like my new affiliation is with the Next Level Vegans LLC.
Saw that.
Who were on the show last night. That show was great. Food
Look,
fight.
Y'all got this dude to eat vegan food. Man,
I went in, I ate the vegan food.
Hey, Jason, he ate the whole plate. I looked over, that motherfucker was gone. He had one piece of fried cauliflower. and at that point, he didn't even know he had cauliflower.
Man, he didn't smack overwhelmingly loud.
Right.
It was moderate, right? Good job for you.
Man, thank you, man. Give me my flowers while I live.
Yeah.
That's what's
so,
up.
hey, shout out to Next Level Vegans.
Shout out, y'all.
Shout out.
That was the Warrior Report. And I know my Facebook has been jittery at best, and we're working through some electronic details right now. So please understand, if the show crashes, I'll bring it back. If I can't, the YouTube shows are always going. So all our shows are actually on YouTube. Subscribe to the People's Network. I don't have the link up, right? But if you go to my page, Kevin Barnes, I always put the show up. Or it's in the People's News Network. So you can get the link from there. The
People's News Network.
Right,
you need to get with
that.
News Network. Look at that on Facebook. Get in that. It's all the pertinent information.
Right.
You get some micro and some macro, right?
Man, all day, every day, man. What kind of drawers you wear? I'm just saying. Some niggas wear bikers, some niggas wear briefs.
Some don't wear them.
How much room and space do you need?
Hey.
I'm a compact nigga.
You said it. I didn't.
Right. Put on some speedos and I'm cool. Yeah. It's educated miseducation.
Miseducation.
Miseducated education.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We traditionally and historically, Black people have been misinformed. We've been miseducated. There's books written about it, The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, which basically brings forth the time when you do have to stop and recognize Black history because you realize they haven't taught it to us. You realize it's a fly in the buttermilk.
Hello, somebody.
I got to say something about this. Wait, what? So you telling me he really didn't invent that shit? So there's too many examples of that. So even if you're educated, such as myself, you realize that a lot of what your education was based on is lies. Right?
Yeah.
And I say that all the time. Not in the execution, but in the understanding. You know, the principalities are what they are.
Right.
But the way you understand it is what makes the difference. So we can all, I was raised in a Christian church. I was raised in the Baptist church. And that those policies were given and handed down to me via my parents, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, who themselves were descendants of slavery, direct descendants of slavery. So they got it from the slaves.
Absolutely.
So in the 80s, I still was learning slave Christianity.
Yeah.
So
in the 1980s.
How do they receive you now? Even now, today, in the 2000s, how are those
500 years later?
Your family, right? The people that say they love you, and then, how do they receive you now with your new understanding?
I think the main thing is I don't even fuck with people like that. So people who know me from wherever the last time they seen me was. So last time you seen me, I might have been, like, so people who had a conversation with me recently, and within the last, I would say 6 to 8 months, would say, he's on some other shit now.
Yeah.
That ain't Kev. That's Kev, but that ain't Kev. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm
not brother Kevin.
Well, it might be. That might be his new name. I might be becoming Brother Kevin, right? Like that might be my new name on the show and shit. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that.
Kevin X.
Hello, it's
brother
Kevin X.
The Negro
I made up a whole damn name for
Kevin X, the Negro Whisperer.
You don't need friends like these, right? Man, Outlaw Radio, man. He like his shit.
Yes.
Share a lot. Please comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, chime in. We want to hear you.
Yeah. So
that's the listen to learn part, right?
I hear brothers, and I like for brothers to speak about things correctly, because we can have an objective conversation, but you have to speak about things in the right way. You can't speak about it from an ignorant perspective.
Communication.
So I hear brothers saying, well, you don't need no education to make it. You don't got to go to college. You can make $1 million, which in itself is true. But don't say you don't have to get an education, because college is an extension of an education.
Yeah, and and the thing also, yeah, exactly.
But hold on, whether you want to, there's vocational education is education. So if you got to go to some class to get some certification to do something, and you got that certification from a school or university, your ass went to college too. So it ain't just about a liberal arts education, because you don't need a liberal arts education.
Right.
You can choose to go and invest into that and owe some money or get a scholarship or whatever, how you do it. But the reality is, if you want to make it in the world, become an electrician, become a plumber.
Mm-hmm.
Be like a civil service dude.
There's a post in the People's News Network that got the salaries. You know what I'm saying? You're absolutely
I've been talking about that lately. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sorry, but it seems like to me people get, because when you say educated, you automatically think of some motherfucker who's summa cum laude from Yale or some shit. In which I know cats who just got an HSED, who have common sense, that are doing better than that dude with master's degree.
I agree. It's all about perspective also. You know what I'm saying? How are you looking at it? What are you planning on getting out of it? You know what I'm saying? If you don't go to a college, are you going to school to learn a craft so you can run a business?
What are you going?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Or are you going to get a job to work for somebody?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I like to tell people nowadays. I think it's better to get a skilled craft. Just go to school to get a skilled craft. You can start your business right there. You can sustain yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you go train with the coldest skill, like if you just want to do pottery, and you go train with the coldest person that does pottery right now, your ass went to college too. You're educated.
Yeah. Right.
It's like we said, deeper. You know what you're doing.
So even without the piece of paper that's saying you're educated, you consider having the knowledge still being educated.
Well, you can still you can be self-educated.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
No,
I'm with you.
Because you can be self-educated.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Come on, man. Look.
Now, by definition of the word as it's normally used, there's gonna be a lot of people that don't agree with it.
But that's why we deprogram.
I personally
because maybe they ain't thinking in the way new black people think.
Yes, sir.
Maybe they can't process.
London Brown say her boss don't got a master's. How does that work?
White privilege. But look, check this out.
Right, just like
check
that.
this out. Before we blame it on them, I want to say this. My mama didn't even graduate from high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was one of the smartest people I've ever known in terms of breaking a situation down and taking care of it. And look, crisis management, they don't teach that in no university. So I would never walk around because I have some degrees. I got 3 or 4 degrees. I'm just saying. But I'm just saying.
He is just saying.
Right. And just because I walk around with
he's saying it with a purpose.
I do actually have them.
Right? I've seen them. Like, he makes us look at them.
Yeah. It ain't nothing wrong with it. Like, it don't matter. It's just a different walk you walk.
God bless you.
It's a different path in life.
It becomes divisive. And it's meant to be divisive because we go all the way back to W.E.B. Du Bois promising the government, the United States government, that he would never let Marcus Garvey interact with black intellectuals. Now, if you think about if Marcus Garvey crosses into some realms where he's talking to the black intellectuals at that time, the Thurgood Marshalls, the ones who understand the market, how trade and investment and banking, and if he gets to deal with them, they bankroll his thing, which was the biggest black organization ever established, even more. We become an unstoppable force there.
Right.
So you think about even just dividing that up, what he did was say, I'm going to even make it so if you black and you do go get a college education, other black people say, you Uncle Tom, you went and got that white man's degree. You don't know shit. It's just divisive instead of saying, what did you actually learn, bro? And how can we use this shit to help us?
Again, it's like I say, perspective again. You
Thank
know
you.
what I'm saying?
Thank you. My monologue is over, y'all.
No, that's what's up. I mean, a lot of truth was spoke, right? You know
right.
what I mean? So,
but what about the people who we hear like they go to college and all that, then they come back and act like I'm the shit. I went to college, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because you get those in the community.
Some people do that.
I know some people used to act like that.
Just like it's vegans out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat meat.
Not me, baby.
You don't do this.
What do you mean?
Man, listen.
Who said anything about you?
Well, you insinuated. Go ahead, brother. Come on.
What do you mean?
Let that boy out. Let that boy out. Yeah, but you know what? Also, I also intended that title when I said miseducated education, is because we are learning the wrong things. We're educating ourselves about the wrong things. Our children are informing themselves about the wrong things. They're not invested in morality. They're not invested in integrity or accountability. They're invested in this right now microwave today culture, right?
MTV.
Live fast and leave a pretty corpse, right? So it's
wow.
That
was almost profound.
Well, come on, Jack. This was I said I got 40.
Yeah, I might quote you.
Still hope for some of this shit. That sounds damn good.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So it's Outlaw Radio, man, and we just want to talk about, because we know we have a failure. You show me a major city in the United States of America that doesn't have a deeply flawed public school system in its largest urban area. It is all the same. Milwaukee's not unique in that. So we gotta say, if everybody else shit was popping and Milwaukee's was fucked up, you could be like, well, damn, I'm mad at you, Baron. But it's fucked up nationwide, and it has been fucked up historically. So you got to see big picture and say, why is this shit really happening?
Because it lets you know that at some point, some things are too coincidental to be coincidence.
Right.
The same thing don't happen in every city across the country. Just, you know what I mean, by happenstance, right? So there's a.
But I'm paranoid.
So so when we start talking about conspiracy theories and all that type of shit, white people conspire. You know, that's what they do. And so again, that don't just happen. It's planned.
I think it's frequencies, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how I feel like the whole energy demonstration is frequency.
Right.
That's why it happens across the country type shit. You know what I mean? These people, like, you look at all these different recent.
It's a very low frequency.
It is, definitely. But when I'm talking about the frequency, when I say frequency, I mean, like, it's a lot of people thinking the same type of shit. You know,
but that's manipulated too.
Exactly,
right?
It is.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. But I'm just
saying,
this is why we see it a lot. A lot of shit that happens rapidly around the country, because these people is thinking about this. The thoughts is being manipulated on TV and all type of shit. You know what I mean?
But check this
To
out.
piggyback on what you're saying, real quick, do some research on what's coming up. The 5G. Just look that up.
Oh
and
man, look,
the frequencies that he's talking about and being manipulated.
I went to a seminar about that.
Yes, sir.
The whole 5G demonstration. You know what I mean?
How
bad it is for us, man. I mean, man. The stuff they was saying, like, I felt like we finna die.
It's futuristic, but it's happening now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all the radiation that it's finna cause, man. I mean, it's already a lot of radiation in the air, but they say that it's like 10 times what's going on now. 10 times before.
Google that shit. Yeah, look that up.
Like, it's way worse, man. Worse than the microwave radiation type shit.
Yes, sir.
2020 is coming up. It is election time. It's time for Black people to choose somebody or not choose to participate to vote for. Once again, it's something that's divisive in our community, because there are a lot of us who will tell you to a man, I don't fuck with that shit. It don't got nothing to do with me, and they gonna do whatever they do anyway.
Man, I think if you want to talk about Jay-Z and quote him, we passed that.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean, that's what we passed. We passed sitting back and letting people make decisions for us, because we end up being ruled by the inferior.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with what's going on in Africa right now?
Have a lot to do with what's going on in Africa, because again, they got 80% being ruled by the 20. Right, you know what I'm saying? We like
somebody finally figured out it's way more of us than it is of them.
We're waiting to figure it out here, right? You know what I'm saying? But
but they don't got the same police departments we got over there.
Well, they got some of the same.
They more fucked up from what I hear. From a lot of people that travel there a lot. You know what I mean? And like teachers and shit. They say they way more fucked up than we is. You know what I mean? As far as being colonized and all that shit over there, they way more fucked up than we is.
What, you talking about South Africa?
Well, I mean, Africa, period. A lot of different places.
Because you got to exclude some areas in Nigeria where there's actually, it looked just like this over here.
And they get Ghana.
Right, it's a city.
That don't mean they ain't colonized. That don't mean they ain't conditioned in the mind.
Well, they the ones that's kicking the white farmers out and taking their land back.
Yeah, well, it's going down now. You know what I'm saying? So,
we like to celebrate Mandela, but Mandela gave away a lot of shit. Like, he compromised.
Like 27 years.
Listen.
Not one of you niggas had bail money.
Listen. No, let me tell you. He could have got out sooner.
Somebody could have flew Johnny Cochran over here for me or some shit. I was in jail 27 years. That's why he came home like, you know what? Fuck this. Forgive the white people. We all good.
Hey, we sent him more support than they sent us when black people just started missing from the continent. I don't think they sent out any search with
what
ships
year you
and shit.
started?
Slavery.
Slavery. Mugged in 1850. And black people did
slavery. Yeah. And then we still, and then they be like, dude, they're not out of concern. That nigga.
But in this election,
hey, hold on. I just thought about David Chappelle. Fuck it, nigga. Fuck it, nigga.
Shit, Mandela himself came over here and said, I'm coming here for my people, not all blacks. My people, meaning Africans.
Right. Yeah,
fuck you other motherfuckers.
When he got back to South Africa, he said, black people, we good. Leave them white alone.
Yeah.
What they call it? The Truth and Reconciliation Committee, where everybody just admitted they did some bad shit.
And no one goes to jail.
Right. Keep that.
Kumbaya.
Leave that country alone. So, I just look at it like we fill our minds up with the wrong kinds of things. Like Brother Kamar is like a medicine man type cat. He's like, he got like the chaps on with the fringes on the side. He getting off the horse like, the blue moon coming to shit. Me and Jason just some old dirty ass gunslingers sitting by the fire and shit sleep.
Hey,
wait till the Indian ride up.
Hey, we all a different part of the revolution.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we are the revolution.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
The revolution is the sum of its parts.
Exactly.
Don't ever misunderstand.
Exactly. There we go.
So we gotta make a better effort of investing in things that are good for us. And sometimes what feels good is what's bad for you. I understand that. And like he say, sometimes ass is good. Right? Evil is bad. But if you get yourself some evil ass, woo, right? Man was born sinning. You born into a world of sin. So we gotta flush as much as that out of us as possible. That's why I shout out to Next Level Vegans. They were talking about the differences in moods.
Okay.
By becoming a vegan. Right? Okay. And I ain't all in on that, but food was freaking delicious. If you get a chance, go to Sherman Phoenix and go to Next Level Vegans.
Yeah, that was a good seafood.
Man, I think I represented for the fat people because I was like, I'm tasting this like a fat dude.
Man, them motherfucking crab cakes though.
It was all good.
Let me tell you, y'all making me mad.
I'm telling you, you wouldn't have known that it wasn't real crab cakes.
All the way down to she made caramel cake. You know what I mean?
Now see, because that's what's up. Like,
right.
I got a sweet tooth, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying a vegan thing. I'm 2 months in. I still have
vegan caramel cake. Vegan caramel cake.
Hey, look, we smashed the cake.
Oh man, I smashed it.
Y'all could have saved the piece for the brother. Like,
let me tell you something.
I bring brownies. Y'all could have saved some bakery.
Shout out to Bull because I know he is this like real conscious centered brother, but that brother made sure he got that last piece of caramel cake out that container. He didn't give me a shot at it. You know what I mean? He thought I ain't see it, yo. Yeah, man. Shout out to her, man. That food was delicious.
Shout out.
Next Level Vegans, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Sherman Phoenix, down at Sherman Phoenix, y'all. 36 Fond du Lac.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. So we had a good time last night, but it was just like we ate the crab boil on here from Chef Monique Brown.
I got some of that.
We support black business, man. Like you can't, if you got something you want to just even, just dance on YouTube.
Right.
Come on here, I promote that shit.
Right.
We're gonna laugh at you like a motherfucker. We're gonna promote your shit, yo.
Yeah, you probably don't want to do it on a Saturday.
Send that gear down here. You know what I mean? You do t-shirts, and you got a t-shirt line or something.
Real talk. We got love. We got love. We love black people. We love black people.
For you.
If you're doing something, especially if it's for the community, community, we with you.
That's what we with.
Teamwork make the dream work, baby. It all got to come together like butt cheeks.
But hold on. So tonight we're talking about the Miseducated, right?
Well, yeah. Well, not just miseducated, but it is miseducated education. So it's flawed information.
Right. And so I feel like one of the things that's major, and I know I've discussed it with you. I think and me and Keith Miner touched on it last week. Just talking about being free. Right. And freedom. And we I think we've been miseducated as to what freedom is. Because I think a lot of times they had us in a small cage, right? And what they did was they let us out the small cage, and we
To a
thought
bigger
we was
cage.
free, but we still in a bigger cage. You see what I'm saying?
They put us in a cage with wings on it.
Right, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm
So
saying?
we hear the Harriet Tubman quote about how many free slaves
Which
she
she
freed.
didn't actually say.
Well, okay, but we certainly heard it, and it does
Yeah.
make sense.
It's still a dope quote.
Right. So I wanted to thank you.
Sound good.
So it does sound good. So I wanted to just stop and talk about freedom for a minute. Like the word free, I looked it up. It's the quality or state of being free, right? The absence of necessity, coercion, or constraint in choice or action. Right. That's not us. Right. You know what I'm saying? Liberation from the power of another. That's not us. We haven't been liberated in that way. Being free is the ability to do whatever you want without limitations or controls. Now, let's take that away from being a personal thing, and let's look at a group of people that's out there that can do whatever they want without limitations or controls. They can poison the water. They can do experiments on humans. They can rape children, right? They can systematically. They can kill. They can population control. They can give you poison. They can do experiments on you, and then 20 years later, so sorry, we issued an apology. Right. So there's a group of people out there that is living free. They do whatever they want. The atomic bomb, right? Whatever they want, but that's not us. You see what I'm saying? And so I cringe when I hear black people.
We can't do none of that.
Talk to me about how free they are. You're not free. You can't even just live on this earth, right? Because you know what? There's a thing called taxes. So you got to get up and do something. And guess what? They want some of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you buy a house. If you don't pay your taxes, they're gonna take the house that you bought back.
They want some of it. Water's not free. You know what I'm saying? Do you know it's illegal for you to collect too much rainwater to be self-sustaining? You see what I'm saying? That's that sort of thing. Or solar power, wind power, all that shit is monitored. It's illegal. You can't even protest. You got to pay for a protest. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing on this earth that you can't you can't go fishing without a fishing license. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they monetized everything.
Education, you want to talk about how free you are, but you can't educate your children with anything that's outside of the school's curriculum. You see what I'm saying? Even if you
can, but you'll be a maverick ass person.
Even if you're homeschooled, they have a curriculum because when they give the test, they want to make sure your children know. So I'm just saying, I just want to dispel this myth, black people, that you think that you're free. You're not free. And we've been miseducated about that.
Right. Whatever. No, I'm kidding. Well said. Goddamn it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no shit. No, but that's just the thing. That's just the thing. The concept that you were taught of what freedom is, it was a lie.
We can vote. We free.
It was meant to pacify you.
Right. It did.
It was meant for you to say, things have gotten better. Martin was a drum major for justice, mama. We shall overcome. What's the Black national anthem, which I always
as long as you got somebody
mad when you don't know that.
You know what? We shall overcome, right? I always hated that song. Wait.
Lift every voice.
Dude, that's some bullshit. I used to be little in school, like I'm not singing this shit. Lift every voice. Motherfucker, they got guns.
Singing that sad ass shit.
Right. Sad ass Negro spiritual.
Talk about being free, like
yes, sir.
I think you can't be physically free as long as you got somebody that you got to answer to. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got somebody you got to answer to, you can't be physically free. Because you know what I'm saying? Because listen,
it's all
double slavery.
Because listen, there's always a rule. If you got to answer to somebody, you got rules. It's a rule.
Oh yeah,
so you can't be free. You know what I mean? But there's other facets. Like I said, it's different. They let us out the small cage, put us in a bigger cage with wings on.
We free.
So now it's like they got different ways that we enslave. That's what I meant when I say the wings that's on a bigger cage.
Yes,
like we got financial slavery, we got mental slavery, we got physical slavery. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So it's all different realms. And see, when they let us out this bigger cage, now they put these wings on here where they put us in mental slavery, the financial slavery, because we going to work depending on these.
We've been in the financial.
You know what I'm saying?
But you just don't negate your point.
Exactly. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like it's a bigger picture now, and we really have to look at it now. So also, but
they make the money.
But physically is the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying, when I say financially, I mean like we can make money to the point where we don't have to depend on them to get
we do because they make the money. They make the money. They literally print the money, and
make the
sometimes
rules.
they don't even print the money.
But what I'm saying is it a blockage of us getting the money?
Yes.
That they make?
Absolutely.
Them. There's a blockage.
Yes.
What's the block?
The blockage is
how they block?
the blockage.
Policy wise.
Right. They're going to decide how much you can get, and when you find a loophole, a way to do it, they're going to go back and change the rules to make sure that that's don't apply.
Exactly.
So should we not strive for the best?
No,
should we not go for it?
No, what we should
not
do
in their
is,
system.
No, what we should do is, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
No, what we should be doing is educating ourselves about the right thing, which is their system.
Exactly.
We should be learning
how
their
to play
system
the game. Exactly.
so that we can exist to circumvent
and
whatever
have
barriers
our
they put in front
own
of us.
system.
Right. So
that's the only way it works.
And out of the understanding of their system comes our own system.
Or the fact that out of our system comes their system of understanding. Because
whatever. However you put your systems on.
So it can be done.
Done. When you go into
that's what I'm saying. So it can be done. That's all I'm saying.
And we did it before. So don't tell me we can't do it.
So that's what I'm saying. We can do
every
it.
time.
But the thing is now we have to figure out how to block them from killing.
But yes.
Now that's where we at now. We got to figure out how to block them from doing that as a whole, as a collective.
We got to figure out
and that's where the problem is.
They're not us.
Like I said,
skin folk
and like I said, as a collective, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be a collective, and everybody ain't part of the collective. You're right.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
So
but the people that are part of this collective
connect.
You know what I'm saying?
And let's go.
Yeah, we can bust a move.
Boom.
But and like I say, the next step now is to figure out how to stop them blocking us. How to stop them from putting that brick wall.
If we get enough of us, they can't stop.
Y'all both missing a critical point.
Okay, come on.
Both of y'all missing a crucial step.
We all saying the same thing.
We're missing a crucial step. And if we don't say this, then we're not being realistic about the situation.
Okay.
The first thing we got to do is stop us from fucking.
Well, yeah, that's why I said collective.
It doesn't have.
See, we just already said, the people that's doing this shit to each other, we ain't talking about they part of the collective.
Thank you.
Okay. They ain't with the collective. Right. So we passed that part already.
Right.
Fuck them. Let them die by the wayside. They gonna keep doing this dumb shit. They gonna keep killing each other. They gonna keep stealing these cars, crashing them, doing dumb shit, killing each other. Kill yourself off. Fuck it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we on the move.
Black people who love black people. Think about our children and grandchildren.
So to talk about when I say us against us, I'm talking about the divisiveness. And everything y'all saying is right. It is what it is. You know,
that's it. Whoever's against, we keep moving.
We get into the point where we start making speeches where we should be making points. So I'm saying this. What needs to happen is accountability must be had amongst us. Because check this out. For whatever reason is the reason. Circumstances and situations usually reflect each other. But we are killing us. We are robbing us. We are stabbing us. We are doing this to us. I understand the hierarchy. I understand the food chain. I understand it ain't necessarily because you are who you are. It's because you right there. I can reach you. And that's they utilize to put us all, the poorest people, in the same pockets. So you put the most hungry, desperate people right smack dab into an underprivileged community that ain't gonna get no services anyways. Nobody gives a fuck about them. Let them kill themselves off is the way we go. But my problem is we gotta be able to wrangle situations, because more often than not, we will blast on each other. More often than not, I'm going at my partner. And I done been on both sides of the fence.
Well, you know the thing.
I've been on the square side.
But you know
I've been on the other side where we ride till we die. I understand both sides. So I'm saying we still ain't figured out no middle ground
The people that want to be against, the people that want to ride against it, I mean, shit, let them go. We ain't got to ride with them. One person can't argue by themselves. One person can't fight alone. You know what I'm saying? They can't fight.
And it's way too many people on the street that want to argue.
If we ain't giving our people a fight, it won't be a fight.
But we do. That's what we do, though.
No. Listen. This is what me and Jason on right now. I think you're seeing it from a different angle, I believe. Because see, we always saying.
Am I seeing the murder of this black lady by a black man? Am I seeing that differently from y'all? Am I seeing that differently from?
No, we ain't saying nothing about no black. We ain't saying nothing about a black woman. We ain't talking about a certain incident, Kevin.
I'm talking about.
Well, then talk about that incident.
Okay,
me and Kevin was talking about what can we do.
But if you understand what I said,
and we passed that part, we passed the people killing each other. We passed that part.
No, because
you're leaving them by the wayside.
That's a discussion.
That's the answer to that.
That's a discussion that has to be had because it just happened. And a lot of people feel a certain way about it. So we discuss issues that just happen on the show. We don't jump over it.
Well,
because no.
We do, but we was on the subject though.
I want to send
but we was on subject.
I want to send condolences to that lady's family. And I want her family to understand that it's no excuse for this kind of savagery that happened to her. And that's the sister that got shot on 51st and Capitol. That incident ain't the first. We have a 2-year-old baby. We've had so many children die this summer because of gunplay in the community. Well, however, if they drop the guns off in a box and we pick them up in the alley, whatever. If these motherfuckers, we know systematically they set the shit up, whatever. I'm saying until we deal with the willingness to do that to each other, we won't be able to move forward.
But you keep saying each other like there's not an outside force working right here. And the fact of the matter it is. And I think that it's a somewhat of a defeatist, or even please let me finish. I don't mean it in a disparaging way, but it's kind of a mental slavery type situation to keep blaming the victim. Because the fact of the matter is, what you have is you want to keep holding us accountable, but we did have times where we did it the right way. We had a Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a post in the People's News Network now about Central Park in New York, how that was owned by Black property owners. It's another article in there about how the Black business owners were being lynched systematically. There were times where we were doing things the wrong way and we got bombed, we got murdered, we got killed. You see what I'm saying? So when do they become accountable? At some point or another, when we was doing the right thing and we got murdered and we got, you know what I'm saying, when do we hold them accountable? Because that's our mistake, is that we still trust them.
Right.
We still will go after each other, but we won't go after the very people
that's why I say
that commit the atrocities.
That's why I say once we get to this point, our focus should be on how to stop Black Wall Street from happening again.
Well, and when you say not from us achieving that, but from them bombing us and coming in, because when they can't do it legally, they do it illegally. And so that stuff is written out of history, and so we want to keep going back to blaming the victim and want to hold Black people accountable to something that they're in a system that they have no control of. So there is some of that. On a very micro level, on an individual level, we want to control what's going on with our people in our community. There are certain things, the behaviors and whatnot, but even those behaviors all come from one thing, and that's poverty, that's lack, and that's systematic and systemic, and it comes from a higher place than us, and somebody else needs to take accountability at some point.
So here in Milwaukee, like I said, we got 2020 coming up. A very interesting announcement made this week. My sister, who's a friend of the show, Sister Lena Taylor, announced her mayoral candidacy.
Yes.
And I seen that who we got on YouTube? Pamela Trippett, let them know the facts. She said every race kills each other. Those that can't catch up, we out. Okay, that's my sister. She's in the YouTube super chat.
My cousin.
I told y'all we was
my cousin there. What's up, Pam? How you doing?
Listen, welcome,
Pam.
I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I got that these dudes can yell at me in my earphones. I'm still gonna make sure I hear everything people say.
He'll stop it when he wants to.
But no, with Lena, it became a divisive topic today too, because we know that in this city there's schools of opinion on Lena Taylor, and I wanted to establish our platform's position on Lena off top. First of all, we will never ever go against a Black candidate. If we have a problem with him or her, we will take it to them. If it's overt and damaging or potentially damaging, we will discuss it on the air. Other than that, we keep our business in the house. And we support Lena Taylor. Lena Taylor is a friend of my show. She's been on my show. She's
love you, Lena.
Shout out, Lena. Yes.
She's been here. She came to see us at 3041 North.
Kept it real.
So I rocks with Lena, and I think Lena is a part of the community.
Lena is the community. I mean, every event I go to about community, Lena's there.
She's Hurricane Lena.
You know what I mean?
She was standing on the safety island. I drove up Capitol the other day. She was standing on the safety island.
She out here. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Waving ballots.
Listen, she was out there.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Hey, really, I love that.
People accountable over there. You know what I'm saying? Makes it Black with the Teutonia. So, man, it's like
I love that.
Shout out, Lena. But here's the thing. So immediately, like as soon as we have a Black candidate, people want to come out and tell you everything that's wrong. But if you don't offer a solution, right? Because you're going to tell us everything you can find bad about Lena, but then your candidate is.
But now the only thing I took exception to with this was I just told Black people you got the right to be skeptical. So for those of you who were skeptical and say, nah, I see it, but I'm just kind of skeptical of it. I'm saying do your research.
Yeah.
I'm saying go and find out about it. Don't assume, right? Just say, well, I'm skeptical, so I'm going to go in.
I'm not blasting you, but what's your solution?
Maybe my education was miseducated.
Right. It happens.
Right. So get a deeper understanding, and a name of another show that we did, Deeper, that a lot of people told me they liked last week. We did that. Wednesday night is the Warrior Report. Thursdays and Saturdays is Outlaw Radio.
Man.
And we close it out like that. Just talking about. Well, it's supposed to be solution-based radio.
Come on.
But
solution, said it again. Solution-based.
It's supposed to be. But what it actually end up being is opinion-based radio. Because that's what happens when you give people a chance to talk. They won't talk outside their opinions.
Well, that's what the solution will begin at.
Right. See, that's your opinion.
Everything that ever was began with a thought.
Right.
Everything starts with a thought.
So when you can't even conceive it, then you'll never achieve it. Right. Everything starts with a thought.
If you don't ever want a person to lie to you, there's only one way to do that. Don't ask them no question. Because
I'm gonna lie anyway, man.
Right. They're gonna
volunteer.
They'll offer a lie.
Yeah. Right. And so, make you learn it.
You see how tedious a process it is, right? In terms of trusting people and believing in what they're saying.
Yes, sir.
Because I learned that the people who I thought was telling me the truth were not. And sometimes they was lying, and sometimes they was lying behind somebody else. So it's even different levels of liars, right? So just like it's different levels of education, it's different forms of education. Education is not one stiff thing. And like traditionally, if they tell you you have to do this to be educated, then they lie. Because you can choose to learn the things you want in life and pursue that. It can be what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And can't nobody put no piece of paper behind that and say this is better than that. Or that.
These days, you got YouTube. Yeah, speaking of YouTube, the People's Network, y'all.
Hit like, hit share.
The People's Network.
Subscribe.
But you got YouTube that'll teach you anything now. You know what I'm saying? You go to YouTube, Google anything, right?
Google is the new classroom.
Self-education is the shit too.
I like to think I would have never failed the test in high school had I had Google.
You never went outside either because porn got like that. Motherfucker, it'd be like 50 less people pregnant fucking with Google if we were still in high school.
I was participating.
Hey, we had this thing, man. We had this brother in Chicago who was upset about a nail shop. I think it was Korean or Asian.
Yeah, man.
He was upset about it, and he felt like he's a Muslim. I forget what the brother's name is. I got to get his name. It's some Muhammad.
He did his thing.
Right. Well, he went. He said, "I'm telling y'all got to vacate.
Got to do something. Warned you. Get away from the windows.
We got some bricks and busted windows out and went to jail.
But the people paid his bill.
Right. Okay.
The people paid his bill and got him out.
That's what's happening, man. We got to take care of our own, man. Especially when they doing something for us.
Shout out to Chicago.
We got to somehow,
man. That's what's up.
Right. Yeah. And New Era Chicago, and Chicago gets down.
Yeah. Don't just talk that shit.
Chicago rough.
Don't just talk that shit.
Over there.
You know what I mean?
Chicago ain't no
fun. Don't just talk the talk. Walk the walk.
It's Chicago real. Stop it. I'm trying to tell y'all.
No, that's real talk.
I won't ever say Chirac. I would just say Chicago, right? Like. Because I'm from there, but I've been there a lot of times.
Motherfucking Cook County.
Chicago is real.
Let me tell you, I think we have to listen to some of them brothers when they saying the guns is being planted over there. Some of these brothers are saying the police is leaving the guns. Again, we want to hold us accountable. Sometime we're going to have to look at them.
Yeah. How this shit getting here?
Hello, somebody.
Yeah, but there goes the argument again. But I brought it here. You picked it up and you did the work. Listen. We got to figure out a way to stop falling for the okie doke. That trap that you saying has been set.
And then it goes deeper.
That trap that you saying has been set.
It's mental issues going on in our community.
It was set. They did set it. They said it every day.
What's the alternative?
Well, that's what we got to figure out.
Hunger pains is real. I gotta feed my daughter. There's some shit that's gonna go down. Let me tell you,
they got a place for it,
and they do, and that's the whole trap. But the fact of the matter is, we haven't come up with a solution, and we got $1 billion, $billion brothers. We got cats flossing around with Rolexes. We got motherfuckers that can buy, they can make a grocery store in their community,
but still no solution.
No, that's the solution. We just don't got nobody that's willing to go and trust the process.
Leave them people alone.
All over the place. Rich niggas that's not helping your community. Listen. So let's talk about Jay-Z, right? So we supposed to all go and send him hugs and kisses because he's gonna spend $400,000.
Kiss Jay-Z.
$400,000. Beyonce. $400,000.
I hope so. I hope that's not a dude, right? I hope you don't know you don't got no homie name.
He's gonna give all this right, and right, and that's good,
right?
Because $400,000 is going to the black community in Chicago. Is that what I read?
Yeah, he said, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So here's the thing. Again, as long as there is a hole in the bucket where it's systemic or systematic, they don't care if you throw a glass of water in the bucket. It looks good. $400,000, it looks good. If the system is still designed to drain the bucket, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, they win. If you're not making changes to the way things are.
Okay, I like that.
You see what I'm saying?
I like
then your little gifts and you built
what can he do?
And you built again. I'm
asking.
No,
like,
you are asking. I didn't think you was feeling no kind of way. Get involved in the process. You got influence. You in the room now. Let's go where the room. Let's go where the rules are made. Let's go where the laws are made. Let's talk legislation. You see what I'm saying? Let's get into some of that.
Stop.
Uh-oh.
Because you always stop me when I pop some shit that may have kind of indirectly was influenced by you. Like you just pop one of mine.
No.
Yes, you said legislation. And when I first met you, like, fuck legislation.
We had the argument about systemic versus systematic.
Okay,
and then let me tell you, at some point or another, if I listen long enough, I learned something.
It's been a long time. So God damn.
No, shout out to you. But yeah, if he's not making changes to the way things work, right? Then your little donations they run out.
But wasn't the whole issue about him collecting money?
Not for me.
And like
the whole issue.
I mean, like what a lot of people was talking about, like he did it for the money.
No. From my perspective, my only problem, because first of all, this dude's already a billionaire. He already got more money than me. It wasn't about the money at all. I knew that was a fucking heavy million. You knew it was some zeros involved.
What was it about then?
For me, the thing that made it official to me was you misspoke when you said we're past that.
Well, yeah, you know, when we all sometimes we all say stuff that you take.
And that's fine.
You know what
that's
I mean?
fine.
And he could have apologized when he saw that everybody
had a problem.
He didn't have to right. He didn't have to say, man, you niggas crazy.
No. Then the nigga had the nerve to say, you know, I know how many people I kept out of prison last year. Do you?
Right.
Did you keep track of how many motherfucking lives you ruined when you were selling dope in your community, nigga?
Yeah, boy.
You know what I'm saying? So don't keep track and act like you.
I don't think he was talking to the black community when he said that.
No, he's speaking for.
Let me tell you,
he wasn't speaking.
I think he was.
I
think he was talking to them. People who he was in the meeting with.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
We see all the black celebrities. They build a school over in Africa. They do this. They little contributions, and it's well meant, right?
Which celebrity did something that's acceptable?
The last motherfucker that went.
Somebody that everybody was happy with.
Listen, the last motherfucker that went and changed the law.
Which one?
You tell me who that was.
I'm asking y'all. This was my question, man. I'm asking him.
But that's the beef I have. We don't have niggas going to change law. They think the donation does it, right?
Well, I mean, because it's mental health.
I'm really sitting here like I was gonna say Sammy, but then I was like, no, don't say Sammy.
Who changed the law? Martin Luther King.
Hey, but really, like which celebrity can we honestly say wouldn't change the law?
I would think Sidney Poitier has done a lot to affect social change. I would think Harry Belafonte.
What did they do? Well, talk to me, because I don't know, really. I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You being genuine.
So they've been integral in movements that were political and legislative as well as grassroots movements.
Yes, sir.
And see, that's that duality that we have to talk about. It shouldn't be a separation between people who consider themselves intellectuals and people who don't consider themselves intellectuals. Like, those people in those offices and those boardrooms should be in touch with the people on the grassroots. And we should be able to say, no, I'm no better than you. I came to contribute. I'm here to contribute. Oh, you got money. Fuck you. No, I would be saying, bro, how did you get that shit? If you're willing to share the information, we won't rob you. You see what I'm saying? So if you say, well, I was an investment banker, no, tell me where I'm at now, how to invest the little money I got. Okay, so what I know about financial literacy, Leroy, okay, you work at UPS, you get and it becomes a situation, and you build from it. But as long as we allow them to divide us, because all of a sudden, and not you, but there's a lot of conscious people who would frown upon someone who had a traditional education.
There's going to be some division.
If that black person got that education, with the intention of making their life better, but then gain an understanding that that in itself don't guarantee that I get over, and I don't need to sell out for it, and I don't need to coon up. When I'm around Bill, I talk the same way I talk around Lil Bob.
I think people do things according to what happened to them in life.
Right? Experiences.
So you feel like you say conscious people talking down on people who educated. Remember a little while ago, I was just saying, like, I've been told by educated people who went to school that talk to me like I don't know shit.
Right.
Because I ain't go to school. You know what I mean? So you have to remember. So you gotta remember that, you know what I mean? You gotta remember that this happened to them already. Okay. For them to feel like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And vice versa.
It happened to us too. We was on the other side of the
and then that person do it and he go back to an educated person possibly who never happened to.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? And the shit spread like that.
I don't know your experience in church, so I can't speak for you. But being a PK and knowing you, when you thought, right, that you knew the answer to being saved, right? When you thought that you figured it out and the answer was to life and all of life's problems was in this Bible, weren't you aggressive with it?
No, because the only thing church really ever taught me when I was little is that I was a piece of shit.
You were never
right, because I lied all the time. I used to be fighting and shit. I used to be stealing for no reason.
They pointed this shit out
right,
to
like
me.
They was telling me you going to hell, nigga. That's what's wrong with you.
But that's the mindset. That's the opposite mindset of I'm God. Right, you know what I'm saying?
Right, no,
everything that I need to and for me to be successful is within me.
I guess the effect it had is that it scared me in the prayer because what I used to actually pray for was that the world don't end tomorrow because I know I'm going to hell.
And I heard you say something earlier about the weakest vibration. Fear is the weakest vibration.
Yeah,
your church put you on the bottom.
Man, when I was a little kid, Revelation scared me to death. And I'm talking about I grew up in the 80s with Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, fucking Halloween, 3D movies and shit, haunted houses.
So God was scarier than all of that.
Man, you scared me into submission. I won't lie no more, and I'm lying when I say that.
Right. He loves you.
Right.
Right.
How you scare me so much for lying that I lie to you?
How about this? Hey, I seen a meme, right?
Okay.
Hello, little Timmy. Welcome to heaven. That's the man right there that killed you and your family. Don't say hello. He repented right before he died.
Thank you so much for having us as a guest in your house.
You know what I'm
saying?
Thank
you for the high-speed head-on collision via drunk driver on I-49.
A whole bunch of bullshit.
Is that like I'm supposed to be happy then, right? Like he's going to a better place.
Wait,
no, he didn't. He got ran over by a truck.
Wait,
he went.
Hold on. So this, let me tell you, this always got me as a kid, right? Let's just say I'm finna say some horrific shit. Just to say your mom was murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a motherfucker broke into the house and murdered her with a hammer, bashed her head in with a hammer, right? Would you then spend the rest of your life with a small hammer hanging around your neck, like honoring the hammer?
Hell no. And that's a question I always had.
So I'm just saying, the very simple, the very fact that you would walk around with a crucifix, right? Believing that this is the tool used to kill your Lord and Savior.
I wouldn't want nobody to walk around with a sign or something of how I died. I don't want that to be my legacy.
Let me tell you, it's nice that they stab
and this is the difference, right?
They got his real blood on it.
Right.
I put a diamond where his blood was.
Now, see, you figure you got the right?
How sick is that?
The cross comes from the
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
When they plagiarized the whole African spirituality, you know what I'm saying? They gave you the cross. They took the whole female aspect out of everything.
Out of the Trinity.
I mean? See, this that's what it represents. You know what I mean? It represents the woman and the man together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have the ovaries. You have the uterus.
He's breaking it down.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have the birth canal where the phallus goes.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the sign. This is the sign of life.
Watching this shit.
You know what I mean?
He said it very, he didn't say.
So what I'm saying is, So what I'm saying is, this is a sign of eternal life. You know what I mean? As long as you keep this intact, you know what I mean? We'll continue having kids. We'll continue going on with this whole
Some of y'all don't need no more kids.
Progression. You know what I'm saying?
Some of y'all don't need no more kids.
Let me tell you, you can have as many kids as you can raise properly.
There you go.
Listen to what I say. You can have as many kids as you can raise properly.
Hey, it's Outlaw Radio on a Thursday night, man. Like you say, shout out to Next Level Vegans. 3041 North, 414-810-3131. Mr. Terry.
5-star.
Sound Silhouette and the brother Hatef. Out on the West Coast.
Yes,
Monique Brown.
Chef Monique Brown.
Man, come on.
Black Nurses
good stuff
Rock.
we're talking about. Yeah,
all the support.
This is good stuff.
It's really about support. You gotta hit like, you gotta hit share, you have to hit follow, you have to comment on everything.
Share,
you
y'all.
have
Share.
to join the People's News Network. Like, this is a fucking club. It's like AAA.
Go to YouTube.
That's what it is. AAA African American asses.
Hey,
Right.
listen,
That's what white people call it. With their African American asses.
And if you say asses, it'll be a lot of clickbait going on.
Right. So, hey man, I'm happy to be able to bring the platform to you. I was looking at Kevin Hart, and shout out to Kevin Hart. He had this horrific car accident.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, the fucking shit was smashed. Like, it was terrible. Like, and he's lucky to have his life. But I'm bringing up Hart because we had a discussion on this show, and I don't know if either one of you brothers were here when we had this discussion in regards to there was a comedian beef between Mike Epps and Kevin Hart, and they were talking about this and they were talking about that. And at that point, white people had kind of made Kevin Hart the poster boy for them. Like, he was getting all the shows, he was getting all the movies.
He helped.
They even invited him to do the Oscars,
and then they was like, "Hey, nigga."
But right before this, though, he gets into a beef with Mike Epps, in which he kind of goes in on Mike and basically tell Mike, "You too much of a nigga."
Before he had his nigga moment.
Right. He kind of went in on Mike a little bit, like,
went into his personal shit.
You on that ghetto shit type, right. But you fucked up because you violated one of them alphabets. Not the FBI, the LGBTs, the Qs. And look, even this brother's in the hospital with his back fucked up, and they still, because he did this shit with Lil Nas X. If you ain't following this shit, Lil Nas X, who's had like his hit that he had, the Old Town Road was like,
I don't know that nigga.
Right. That was a hammer level hit. Like, it broke a record for being number one.
Here's
the
thing. I never listened to the whole song.
Me either.
But let me tell you, I was on board with the nigga until
he announced that he was gay.
And I was like,
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At first,
brother, take a country.
Good luck for you, bro.
As a hip-hop,
brother, take a country.
As a hip hop head, I looked at it and said, well, that's not necessarily traditional hip hop that I rock with as the snob, but a young brother's come up is a young brother's come up.
Until
so when he announces, now we got to do,
Brokeback Mountain.
And then Kevin Hart, they had this show with Kevin. It was a podcast, naturally. Podcasting has changed the world. I don't know if you all noticed. There's a podcast with Kevin Hart and all these celebrities. And Kevin Hart is kind of dismissive of it. When he says, I came out and I felt this way, and then Kevin Hart's like, you gay, so what? Get over it. Right? Like, it was like, so they still at Dave Chappelle. And it just goes to show what we said on the show last
week. And I watched Dave Chappelle because of you. Like, I wouldn't,
Okay.
But you went on about how fucking funny it was.
Glowing review.
And I wanted to come on the show and just you feel it. No, but it was funny as shit. Like,
but you thought I was lying?
Yeah, I thought you was overdoing it. Like, I hadn't seen that. I thought he was exaggerating a little bit. No, the motherfucker was right.
Oh, cute.
No, I'm giving you props saying that the shit was funny.
You ugly, but you did okay today. Thank you.
That's what you're supposed to think. Thank you. No, but the shit was funny. It was so much irony. He said some very profound shit.
Classic.
And here's the thing. It's fucking comedy. Like, we used to be able to, like, it's a comedy. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Shut the fuck up and go away. But the dude is good.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what?
What's up?
It ain't just comedy.
It is what it is.
It's reality.
Well, as far as you
it's how people feel.
Yeah.
When
that's what makes it funny.
Listen,
exactly. Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
Because it's so
people
real. When I say to a woman, as a man, I say to a woman, you know what, baby? I'm pro-choice. I don't have a pussy. I don't have a word in the matter. If I get you pregnant, it's your decision. But if you got the right to choose whether or not you kill it or let it live, then I should have the option to say, either I'm going to help you raise it or I'm the fuck up out and I don't have to pay no, you know what I mean? So that's something that's sad but true. And you can have those arguments on both ends.
On a fair level, when you get outside of your feelings and outside of the law and outside of your pulse and outside of your situations on some objective shit, it's more than fair.
Right.
More than fucking
because misogyny and man bashing is the same damn thing.
Well, it becomes vogue at some point, or you know what I'm saying? And if you're good at doing it, you can get a talk show.
So a lot of things he said, man, were profound. Just so well, I think the thing when she says you can't say fag because you're not gay, and he said, but I can say you let me say nigga all the time. And she said, he said, but I'm not a nigga either. You let me say nigga all the time.
Let me tell you, listen, and he didn't when he said that, but I'm not a nigga either.
Right.
No, there's nothing else to be said. That's the thing. And then let me tell you, and you white people can't say shit either after that. Like everybody had to Everybody had to just take that one.
You know what, Kevin? You got a point.
They got a point.
Stop it, Bill. Just give me my rate.
It was funny. Dave Chappelle did his
classic.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite type of comedy is social commentary, because I think in order to prevent me from taking myself too seriously, I laugh at myself sometimes. I don't. You get to the point where you're in a grocery store and you're so militant that you won't buy some shit that you know you need because it's white. Like I'm looking for a brown toilet bowl mint or something. I don't want to put no white tablet in my toilet. Like, come on, man, just buy the one that turn blue when the water gets the shit crumbs out your toilet. I'm sorry, but I go there. I have preconceptions that I have to fight through every day.
So I'd like to hear the mindset you was in the conversation that went through your head at Mayfair.
Which time? Shit, I was just at Mayfair. What the fuck?
The first time.
You talking about when I was like 12 or 8 when they had a skateboard in the middle of the
when you gave the explanation and you told us about like.
No, that wasn't my first time there. Listen.
When you bought the shoe, you don't play dumb.
You talking about when I went and got the shoe?
Okay, because a smart motherfucker can play dumb, a dumb motherfucker can't play
you talking
smart.
about when first of all, that wasn't my first time going.
Oh, but you lied.
Yeah, you that first time. But I was
because he was just so I can set the stage. He was boycotting at some point.
I was in pursuit of some Reeboks.
Right, and the boycott was like
the retro re-release. If you do sneakers like me, 90s sneakers, the ones that come out, you gotta have. So you gotta go get them, man. And I followed it and couldn't find it and tried to order it. One store had it. It was in Mayfair. So I went to motherfucking got the goddamn Reeboks. What's the problem?
He's saying the number before he was like, yo, I got a confession to make.
Because we're supposed to be boycotted. And I ain't want to.
You're like, yeah, no problem. But before he was
forget about it.
I got something to tell you.
Look, I went and got the fucking shoes, all right? I got the fucking shoes, all right?
I don't want y'all to think ill of me. Before you hear someplace
I got the shoes and they so special.
How many people was protesting with you?
None.
No, wait, 9. They all was part of an organization.
Soon thereafter. And he admitted
it was my wife. It was my wife's fault. It was
and he did his cool like I ended up in Mayfair today. Oh, you ended up in Mayfair today.
My wife took me.
I wasn't playing.
I went to get some glass. I didn't know she made the appointment.
We don't even with our issues, man. It's hard. It's hard to fight the machine. Black people got to admit it. It's very hard to fight this machine.
They have everything.
There it is.
We're not
even when you buy black. You know what I mean? It's hard to fight the machine because a lot of the time, the black people gotta get it from there too.
Listen,
but I mean, it's better than not going
until we have our own.
You know what I'm saying?
We will have this problem until we have our own integration. When we try to be all snuggly and shit with what they got going on, we let our shit close.
That shit didn't work. I thought it worked. My bad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Father Grappy in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
right?
Shout out.
You got to be real Milwaukee to know who Father Grappy was.
You do.
Yeah, man.
Dr. Bob type.
Man, shit, you know, hey, all them little rock head shit. I done listened to his old. I've listened to it.
Yeah, and you repeated some of that
I'm
shit.
a black nerd, man. Dr. Bob actually invented thin in the waist, cute in the face. A lot of people don't know that. Dr. Bob had all of that kind of shit. He would pop.
We are telling you how old we are now.
I'm telling you how much research I done done.
No, he's old.
No, because he predates me. He died before I was born. So that footage in OC White 2, if you're gonna give it up for Milwaukee dudes who really got a hold of this microphone and did what they
real talk.
So no, Dr. Bob, man, he made up them rhymes, world class smart ass. Mouthpiece of the movement.
What's up? All right.
That's where you get it from, man. Hey. And you go back and listen to it. They got the WWA. I
was a little kid.
WAWA transcripts on YouTube. On YouTube, you can go listen to it.
Yeah.
And hear him just pop and running shit.
They're playing shit like Jungle Boogie.
Well, that's before that. They were playing goddamn Temptation. We talking about the early to mid. They playing Heat Wave.
Come
they
on,
like
man.
Motown.
No, they had that P-Funk and that stuff going on.
I think he might have been gone by the time people come in the late 70s. I think Dr. Bob was dead by then.
I don't know. We have to check that out. I was a little kid. I'm just telling you what I remember.
Like, what the fuck is they talking about?
Yeah, we all right.
Outlaw Radio, man. Miseducated education.
Yes.
Just in case you're just tuning in, the discussion kind of extended from the
belief we digressed.
We've been misinformed about a lot of things, and a lot of us invest in the wrong information. So sometimes we pursue it in a legal fashion and say, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to take out a loan, and I'm going to go to a college or a university or a technical school or wherever the fuck it is, Lula Mays, nail registry. You go there with the understanding I'm gonna get something that's gonna help me be able to get some employment from it. So I'm gonna invest a little bit and get a long-term achievement out of it. You go there though, they give you flawed understanding, right? They don't give you what you really need to make it, because they don't teach you the golden rule of everything, which is it ain't what you know, it's who you know. You know how many dumbass people got jobs because they know somebody? You know how many smart ass, and you know how many smart ass people don't got no job because they don't know nobody? Come on, Chad. Hello. Leave them people alone.
Complexion for the connection for the protection.
Right. So don't think because you got several bachelor's degrees that somebody's inferior to you intellectually. But don't think because you don't have a degree but you have a good job that you're superior to somebody who has degrees. Like, we both got to be willing to learn from each other. This is an argument that won't never end. Yeah. And somebody if you motherfucker like to argue all night, then thumbs up to you.
Somebody got to be the thumb. Somebody got to be the pinky. It makes up the hand.
Oh, that shit sounded nasty. I was so scared of where you was going with that. Like, oh shit, he said thumb. Like, I didn't know what you was going to do with that, Jay. I didn't know where he was going with that, man. Y'all see Malik Yoba, man? Come on, son. Like, you just set black masculinity.
Man, why, man? Just shut up. Well, keep it to yourself.
Here's a little pointer to y'all, brother.
Keep that shit to yourself.
If you like trans men, you're gay.
Bottom line.
Stop.
As my man T-Buck would say, bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
You're a rope sucker.
Bottom
you're a fudge
line.
packer. You're in the club. It's okay. Just be who you are.
Right.
Don't mix it up.
If you are a man and you like men who dress up as women with the understanding that there's a man under that makeup that makes him look like a woman, you're gay.
Even if they have breasts.
Listen,
you're still
if you
gay.
like
if you question it, if that's a man or not and you go anyway, you gay.
But if you find out that it's a man after you thought it was a woman and you still go,
you still gay.
You're gay. We're going to start doing a segment on this show called You're Gay. Okay.
Are you sure? Because again, if you ever run for office, they're gonna come 30 years down the line. They're gonna come
be
fight.
No office running. I'm old. I got more time behind me than I do in front. I ain't ready for office. But listen, there's certain things that men in this country don't understand, and that somebody has to tell them, "Hey, bro, I really know your problem. What's my problem? Dog, you gay. Like, that's your problem." So realistically, if you really care,
so wait,
somebody gonna be fighting me like this.
Let's get into it. So being gay, with that is that physical? Is it mental? What kind of issue?
Yeah, it's physical.
It's a physical condition.
You actually
you believe
like to kiss another man.
So you believe physical. So you believe when they say I'm a woman being in a man's body, that's natural to you. Just a physical defect.
Dog.
Kevin Hart said, not Kevin Hart, but Dave Chappelle said that shit funny. It's like him being a Mexican in a black body.
Right.
That was the perfect example.
Wasn't the perfect example.
That's how you know it was classic.
Yeah, perfect example.
Right. So, but my thing is,
Dave Chappelle, you got like Red Fox, you know what I'm saying, and Richard Pryor. They doing like this to your show, bro.
He went over everybody. That's the best stand-up of all.
I don't know of all time.
I said he's the Tupac of rap. I've never seen no black comedian do nothing more impactful than that show.
I like it. I think he put a foot forward to getting comedy back to
where it was. Comedy. He changed it
to where comedians can say what the fuck they want to
say. And then he told you at the beginning, you the motherfuckers, right? Yeah, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Wait, no, right.
Y'all
never saw it coming, did they?
No.
So you know who's super judgmental in it? You motherfuckers. Everybody say, but
then they clap. Well, you're right.
But I got something to say about this though, too, to that brother who says to me, Kev, I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. Dog, you know what that means, don't you? You're gay.
Now wait.
You gay.
Now wait. Now let me add to this though, right? Okay, because I agree with you 100%. However,
okay,
when you start taking medications and doing other things, and you start looking at the side effects, and it tells you that you may have a suicidal thought.
Right.
Okay, wait. Yeah. So now we're not just dealing with the physical. Now they fucking with your mental.
Right.
And if you think that I believe that they haven't given some shit that make black men especially gay, anti-masculine, I believe you can bet on it. You can bet on it, right? And so some of you may feel like, you know what I'm saying, there's a birth defect or something's going on. It might have something to do with some of the side effects of the pills that you've taken from these pharmaceutical companies that's making you feel gay. Think about it.
Pamela Triplet. I hope she subscribes to the channel.
Please do.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, cause my cousin, she a trip, man.
She said we are past kneeling, marching. It's time to keep moving. She said J. Bill father's out of jail last year. We need one of us in that office. And then she put picks up person, leaves.
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Shout out to
Drop the mic, sister. I hope you pick your purse back up and come back.
Right. Don't leave your purse. We going through your shit.
Now you know what's funny.
You know that, right?
Shouldn't even carry your purse. Hilarious, man. Hilarious.
Hey,
oh man.
Peace out. Peace up in the love.
But you know, the quest of all of this is, and we were all sold this dream, is really, you know, when you get educated, that the real traditional education is about teaching you one thing that a lot of us never question is it's really teaching you about mediocrity, because the American dream is a house with a picket fence and a dog, 2-3 bedrooms and 2 kids. That's what they tell you the American dream is. But you know who really lives the American dream is the 1%ers who own 85% to 90% of the wealth in this country. They make the decisions. They live billion-dollar, million-dollar lifestyle where struggle is so far off that their great-great-great-great-grandkids will be still millionaires, even with drug habits, murder, incest,
it's the system.
rape,
it's the
molestation.
It's the system.
There's no situation that can ruin them. You can be rich for 2 generations and have a bad weekend and sprinkle a little crack on it, and everybody broke after that for the rest of your existence.
Hey,
okay,
for them.
So understand the way it works, right?
Yeah.
And you talk about what they told me what an American dream was, and we took that because how the fuck can somebody tell you what your dream is?
Right.
So for a black person who's never been free, who's always been persecuted and subjugated,
talk about it.
How could they ever say, I'm living the American dream? Well, what the fuck is what? That's you got 2 kids and a dog, and you live
that's your dream.
Well, that's their dream.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's your dream?
Have the dream your own dream first.
Walk around in your yard with the dashiki on and do the traditional.
But you know,
you send it off the DNA registry and they say you Nigerian, then be Nigerian now.
A lot of people can't drink.
Double check it and then be Nigerian.
Okay.
Get a second opinion and then I'm not saying
be Nigerian.
I'm just saying don't do it, but I'm just saying
a lot of people's minds are in such a small box they don't know how to dream big. They only know a dream of what they was told is a dream.
That's mental illness.
It is.
To me,
it is.
That's mental illness.
It is definitely. Because you know what I mean, you ain't open. You
sound like miseducated education.
Your mind, you in a cage.
It's a little of both, bro.
No doubt.
So wait. So because I think before he tell us to do this and start winding us down.
No, shout out to I was going to say shout out to West Coast Fred.
West Coast Fred, tell us about it.
Yeah, long time supporter. All the way back to Blog Talk.
Did he say some shit?
Yeah, he's in there. He was talking about them pushing the LGBTQ agenda. And he said he wanted to talk about, but Fred get into what we do. So he's like, yeah, that shit. Yeah, I got something to say about that shit.
That's what's up.
Right. So shout out to West Coast Fred. West Side Zeladine too. Rest in peace, Mama Zeladine.
All right.
Go ahead, bro.
No, okay. So just a couple things we was seeing in the People's News Network. Papa John's.
Yeah.
Right. They want to give $1 million to the HBCs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, you see how they throw this money around. So we talked about the $400,000 that the Kaepernick is going to get. Also, there's $400,000 that they offering to Sterling Brown, right, to keep from admitting that they violated his civil rights and shit like that. They don't mind giving the money, right? Because again, at the end of the day, there's a hole in the bucket that's gonna come right back.
You gonna spend it with them anyway.
So Papa John's, you see them trying real hard to win black people over, and if he's willing to give $1 million back, let me tell you, that's how much do you think he is losing?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because
since he fucked with Shaq,
so I want to give a thumbs down to Shaq, big huge ass, right? Because right now you're a huge coon, right? Because you took that check from Papa John's and told niggas that we need to get over racism and shit.
He said it for Jay did.
Yeah, you did.
Now see, I can't see how he took that. I mean, I can't see how anybody could take that out of context. We can't get over racism because this is the shit that we faced with every day. You know what I'm saying?
So same statement.
And that's a cool moment for Shaq.
No, it's not the same statement. Like I said,
for me,
I disagree on the Jay-Z one because I feel like that was taken out of context. But this here, when you say racism, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say that goddamn word on my show.
Context.
Like that's completely different. You know what I mean? But that's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I agree with you on the Shaq shit. I disagree with you on the Jay-Z shit.
And it's all good. It's all good.
I tell you what we both agreed on. Next Level Vegans LLC in the Sherman Phoenix, baby.
How you say it?
Delicious.
Delicious.
It was delicious,
Delicious.
man. Even the sauces, like that sister. She shout out to Anya.
Yeah, she made that seafood sauce, a tartar sauce. Anna.
I think we ought to have him back on the show because I didn't get.
Come on.
Leave
Come
on back.
out.
Listen, don't try to let them strong.
Right, no. It was delicious, man, and I want to shout out to her. And I just once again, I have to reiterate the point, man. It's all about support. Like you bring your product on here, we'll do what we do to promote it. I'm not saying like I got the biggest network or platform in the world, but you know, every little bit of help.
We do our part.
So
we do our part.
So in addition to that.
Right.
So we got to give a shout out to the Vegan Soul Food and Drink Expo that's coming up.
Reign Truth.
Yeah.
Well, if they bring food like Next Level did, I'll shout them out. They ain't brought me shit.
Reign Truth. We're going to have Reign Truth.
Go ahead,
on the
shout
show.
it out, man. It's Saturday, October 26th from 11 to 5, right, at Nicolay High School, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get Reign Truth on here.
Yeah, that's why I want to.
Is she bringing crab cakes? Is she bringing vegan crab cakes?
Well, she don't run a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And this here is just.
She needs to stop by Next Level and grab some crab cakes on the way to the show. Tell Anya for the show. She'll hook her up and we can.
Let me tell you, listen, I'm sure you got your own shit, stuff, products.
Sneak some sausage in there.
We look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Yeah.
Reign Truth is the truth.
Right. And when you doing Talk That Talk again?
2 weeks.
That's my brother's podcast. Talk That Talk, and it's all on his page.
Yeah, you catch it on my page, Kamar Carter.
Yeah, and what's your Facebook? What's your Facebook shit? Like,
oh yeah, we got Healthy Self Healed Thyself.
Yes.
If you are in transition of becoming vegan, or you are vegan, or you just thinking about that may be a route you want to take, come on, join this page, Healthy Self Heal Thyself.
Yeah.
It's more like a support group. You know what I'm saying? Okay. We support each other. You can post what you're doing, and you got people that's gonna chime in, talk to you, congratulate you, and all that. Yeah. So y'all make sure y'all join that page. Then we got Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements.
Yes, sir.
That's another page I need y'all to go like. So whenever you feeling under the weather, whenever something's wrong, you feel like you need some energy, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Give me a shout out. I'm gonna help you out.
Right, and you said you had some shit you want to pop before we even wound down. So go ahead.
Just a couple things, man. First of all, I wanted to give a shout out to you because I told you earlier, man. I thought as soon as I seen this post, I could just see the little grin on your face, man. With the vegetarians have 20% higher risk of stroke than meat eaters. I had to laugh at that, right? And so I don't understand. So I went into it a little bit, right? And I understand that the Oxford University, right, tracked 50,000 people for 18 years. And I just got one question. Were they white people or black people? Because our DNA is not the same as theirs.
Right.
And they might function on that murder-ass blood shit. And I think that we are probably a little bit more evolved. So I'm going to challenge that one and possibly call it a little BS. But it calls for further research and further study, absolutely. We've seen where the FBI had targeted Ferguson black activists over the white supremacists. I have a question for all of you black police officers. After you read that, can you still go to work and just say you just doing your job, knowing that you're making the world a worse place? You are the epitome of Sambo.
If you ain't a part of it, if you ain't a part of the solution, you part of the problem.
Let me tell you, if you're a black police officer and as much corruption is going on, and you're not calling other police officers out on the bullshit, you're corrupt too.
And you'll be unemployed if you try that shit or they'll kill you.
Which means
you better not say shit.
Which means there's no such thing as a good cop. Because if you can't be a good cop or you get fired, that means all the motherfuckers that would be good cops are gone. And there's no such thing as a good cop. According to that logic, I didn't say it. I did say it, but I didn't say it.
No, I would. You know what? There's no such thing as a good mailman. There's no such thing as a fucking good firefighter.
I disagree.
No, your job is your job. You can be an individual who thinks he or she is doing the right thing for the sake of the right reason and be flawed. But you go and you're productive and you do what you do. You doing what you think is right. So there's a lot of black cops who go to work and it's an extension of being in the armed forces. See, there's a connection.
But when you realize,
because I would say I would never go to the army. Programs you to really fight and kill for this thing they built, right? So usually that person comes home and they become like a cop. But they have this built-in sense of, I have to protect people and stand up for freedom and justice. I don't have that. I'm CYA. Cover your own ass. So,
but they ain't standing up for freedom and justice. They went over there and it's killed the innocent people over some oil that the government wanted.
Right. So they did what they did. But you know what? If you a mailman right now, and you know another mailman who's taking checks out of the mail bags, and you ain't telling, you is a bad mailman.
It's not the mail person's job.
And if you a bus driver right now,
it's not the bus
who
person's
know your
job.
guy is selling weed on his route, and you don't tell, you a bad bus driver.
It's not the bus person's job. It is the police officer's job to enforce the law. It is not the bus driver's job to enforce the law. It's not the mail person's job to enforce the law. The police officer took an oath that's saying they would enforce the law.
Right. You might even be right.
Absolutely.
They might be a bad cop, but they might still be a good person.
You might be. Quit your job and you'll be legitimate.
Or you do like the rest of these niggas, just sell dope at night. So check this out.
You're a gang in blue. You do sell dope already.
Wednesday. Because I thought it was going to be on Saturday, but we will be on Saturday. It will be on Saturday night. Wednesday we'll be back. Warrior Report is getting much more interesting because now you're starting to bring people in.
Man, that's what's up.
And don't be trying to gang up on me with too many vegan, because I mean we're gonna have to bring like a steak chef or something in this motherfucker.
Let me tell you,
somebody how to show you how to cook.
Well, hey man, well it's about wellness. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this is the wellness I know. So we gonna get some of that. We gonna get some other stuff too. I mean, I got a lot of stuff in line.
A lot coming down the pipe, man. Hold on and be strong. Support the movement. We worked through the kinks. We're a little blurry on the Facebook tonight, but it stood. It
sound good.
It didn't go out though, right?
Yeah.
So now it's left for me to figure this out.
I want to touch on that miseducation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Before we cut off, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
we.
Let him in.
Shit, go ahead.
Before we write down, okay. Well, I just when I saw the thing, I saw Miseducated when I saw the flyer on Facebook. Okay, the topic is miseducation, miseducated education.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So I like to think about culturally,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, how we were miseducated away. And I remember last week, me and you was talking at the end of the show about our man.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you look into that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I brought. I brought the book and everything.
Yes, sir.
Where I got my information from.
Yes,
it's
sir.
more I could bring those too. But
no. Let me tell you. I asked you earlier, was that you? Because I was shocked. Like I thought it was. He left it on the table. I was like, oh my god.
Right.
Damn well.
Well, this is the thing, right? We was talking about our men.
Yes,
you know, our men. I'm talking about our men that we say at the end of our prayers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like we was miseducated as far as what our man is and
Mm-hmm.
was. I mean, I think there's partial information out here. As far as our man, it's deeper. Our man it's a spiritual thing. You know what I'm saying? And remember when I I don't know if y'all remember, but anyway, I always tell everybody, everything that was taught in our culture, you know what I'm saying, it was about self, knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? And this is a part of our man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing we would need to know is about duality. Our duality is a spiritual and there's a physical.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? There's a physical and a spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
We are our consciousness. That's who we are. The body dies, the consciousness
and
don't.
you still are.
Exactly.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying?
With you.
Now, you got 11 different faculties, 11 different energies, 11 different laws. They call them those three things. You know what I'm saying? And these laws, they're not like man-made laws. They're not man-made laws. They're actual principles that explain nature and its interaction of the forces and principles that influence man's life. His or her thinking, feelings, actions, and destiny. This is all in your spirit.
Come on, man.
Now we're talking about our man.
Mm-hmm.
We were originally, the first thing you would learn is our man Ra. You know what I'm saying? Which they would refer to as the sun. Our man Ra. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they refer to that as the sun.
Yes, sir.
So then now, like I say, everything is even in religion, you know what I'm saying? Everything is symbolism. You know what I'm saying? So they look at the sun. Okay, the sun sustains Earth.
S-U-N, same thing.
Yes, exactly. It sustains the Earth. It feeds the Earth. It's everything. It powers the Earth. It powers everything here. Okay, now we got our spirit. You know what I'm saying? Now our spirit, that's our connection to God. That's actually the God that's within us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The consciousness part, is devoid of energy and matter.
It is the I am.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yes,
and that's where you are. So now when we talk about our man is the law. It's a law. You know what I'm saying? It's a law that says you're made in the likeness of peace in which nothing can disturb. Right?
Okay.
Now that's what our man mean. Our man is peace. That's what you know what I'm saying. The meaning of our man.
Boom.
Now, when you go back to the spirit, and I'm talking about the 11 different faculties.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you got 10 of them.
Okay.
Now, when you cultivate them all, you become your soul is now called Amen. It's a sustaining force that carries you through life. You know what I'm saying? It's the energy that moves you. When you cultivate these cultures, they say the mission is to become a Sar. A Sar is the next highest above Amen. Amen is the title of your whole soul. Just like the sun sustains the earth, your soul sustains your life. Right. You know what I'm saying? So Amen is more of a law. It's more of a divine law, you know what I'm saying?
But it derives from Amen Ra, which is
exactly.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but that was the simulation. Amen Ra was the sun.
Right.
Symbolism is like our soul.
And you are absolutely right. But what I was commenting on last time is how we end up in the Christian church saying Amen at the end of each prayer, not understanding what
it really is. Right.
I never even asked.
And see, and I dig this when I get out of that. What I get out of that is like when we say Amen at the end of a prayer, you know what I mean? We're really saying Amen to ourselves.
Well,
peace. Thank you. You know what I mean? Because we are the universe, and what we praying for is coming to us. So we saying peace. God is peace.
And this is what they call, what's the physical part of the body?
The mental.
What is this right here?
Oh, the mind.
It's a temple.
Right.
Temple houses God.
Right. Exactly. The house of God. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm guaranteeing you that
yes, sir.
Black Panther Part 2 will be coming out early 2020.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. Right? Black motherfucking power. Right? Before you go to sleep. I hope y'all tune in Saturday night. We're gonna close the week out. Shout out to my brother Kamar Carter for his death. Shout out to Brother Jason for his explanation and his depth of explanation.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
And shout out to me because I lived another day.
Yeah, well,
right?
No.
And that ain't always been the easiest.
Hey, you made it possible, right? You know what I mean?
I'm like Snoop with his new album. I want to thank me.
Yeah. Hey, but I think we all need to do a lot more of that. You know what I mean? Snoop was on hit when he said
that's what I just said.
We need to thank ourselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. We need. I'm saying us as a community though. We need to kick it like that with ourselves.
Y'all can do it too.
We need to start giving ourselves more credit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying I give credit to Jesus for this job. And you got your ass up out of bed when you got that job.
Jesus was sleeping late.
You took your ass to work every motherfucking day.
And I really wanted to.
You know what I mean? And you woke up because the melanin in your system started winding down.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? That guy.
And then you drank some coffee.
You know what I'm saying?
Your ass went to Starbucks. So listen, just to close the show, just like this. If you confused or you don't know which side you really stand on, I think Willie D said it best. If your criticism of the Black community outweighs your contribution,
I love this.
You're pretty cool.
Love it.
I'll see y'all Saturday night.
Peace, y'all. Peace.
Let me tell you, I think that there's not a lot of people talking about what we're talking about.
No, it ain't. That's what I say, man. 10 years from now, we're gonna still be relevant.
It's some brothers that's doing extras, you know what I mean? But I think we present it on many different levels where a lot of us can't understand.